Hello everybody, welcome to a one-off live stream on a Monday evening. I've had the day off work, so I thought I had some time to, spend the time with you guys. So what we're going to go over today is the latest research and insights report from Zoopla and the figures and facts that goes through. After we've done that, we'll go through to the question and answer session. Normally these go on for about an hour, so if you want to hang around for the first 5-10 minutes and then get your questions in, that would be fantastic. We've got a great and growing community every week that is very helpful in answering any questions along with myself. So welcome. If you're new here, please hit that like button. It really helps YouTube get this content out there, sharing it with other first-time buyers and people who it might actually help. So first of all, let's say hello, Mr. DM. How are you doing? Now then, kiddo, come on. What do you want to say, mate? What do you want to say? So this is going to be about Zoopla's insight and research report. It's about 6 pages. I've had a skim through it. There's a lot of decent stuff in there, to be honest with you, a lot of decent stuff. So I think we'll go through that as much as possible before it starts getting a bit boring. I don't know if it will do or not. And then we'll get into a questions and answer session. So let's just have a quick drink of beer. Thank you. And the reason I'm doing it tonight as well is because I've got a few quid on the Portugal game. So if anybody can keep me up to date with the Portugal score, that'd be fantastic because that's in the other room. Right. It is a bit early, Alex. It is a bit early. Basically, when I'm at work, I have to have dinner and all that sort of stuff. So when I jump in, when I'm off work, I can get these done a little bit, a little bit earlier. And according to my analytics, a lot of you guys are online around this sort of time as well. So, let's have a look here. Hi, Paul. How are we? Alex, good to see you again, my friend. DM, I've had a move to France signed off by work. Interesting. Oh, you're doing it? Oh, that's great news, mate. Great news. I have to keep us posted how that goes. Really pleased for you. Really pleased for you. Samuel, welcome to the channel. Glad you're here. Right, so now we've got a few people here. Got a few likes as well, which is always good. Let's get into the report. I'm going to have to try and read this from somewhere else. Where are we? I should have been prepared for this, guys, but I clearly wasn't. Downloads, there we go. Yeah, I'm not prepared. I still haven't learnt my way. Here we go. I got it. Right, so let's go over to this report bit. Hope you can see that all right. I'm going to read it out so you guys don't have to squint and read. If you have any sort of questions or comments along the way, then let us know. But this is, they make a prediction about what's going to happen with house prices. And if you've watched other YouTubers or looked at the news, you may have already read it. But I'm going to go into a little bit more detail, go over what they're actually saying and why they're saying it as well, and then give my reaction. So let's go through. I'm just going to switch so I can see it. Let's move that out of the way. So the breakdown of the summary is the mini budget fallout hits demand by 44%. Wow. More than new sales. Right, okay. So the demand for properties has gone down by 44% and 28% less sales happening. I'm not too sure whether it's a quarter. These tend to come out every 3 months. So I reckon the last quarter. Sales down 28%, which I think if you've watched this stream before, you know that I've been experiencing, or certainly in October when the mini budget was announced, we had a really tough sales month. But September before it, and even November, this month has been absolutely fantastic. So we've started to see that dip for the mini budget and then return into what we was before the mini budget. New sales fell by half in the hottest markets, less in affordable areas. So those big high-end places where it's a lot of money to buy a property, their new sales dropped by 50%, and less affordable areas was a lot less because obviously there's still a lot of people who can buy at the lower end of the market. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Some places are just lower value than others. It's still a lot of money when you are buying a house, no matter the price. House price, lower sales and new supply are boosting the sales inventory, Ongoing scarcity, can't say that word, expected to remain into the 2023, limiting the downside of the prices. So what they're saying is because there isn't as many houses selling and more sellers are coming to the market, that is giving new buyers more choice. And generally when that happens, less buyers, more choice, that's when it tends to turn into a buyer's market where you can start to hopefully try and get a few quid off, which hasn't been the case the last couple of years, as I'm sure you're all well aware. House price inflation losing momentum at speed, but no price falls recorded over the last quarter in any region or major city. So that's what I've been experiencing. If you watch my last live stream, I gave you some data on what the average agreed price is for my office over the last 10 months. And I will update that at the end of November so you can see if anything has happened this month. But yeah, we haven't seen that massive drop-off which some people have said has already happened or is imminently going to happen. I mean, if it still could. It still could happen, but at the moment, in my part of North Essex, my small market share, I haven't seen it just yet. Discount to asking price on new sales widens in recent weeks, so that means that vendors were getting a lot of their asking prices, but now what the owner wants and what buyers are willing to pay, that gap is getting a bit bigger. Diverse range of need-driven factors expected to support sales volumes, with mortgage rates set to start from 2023 at 5% level, and the widespread repricing of homes underway in modest size. So, what do you think so far, guys? What do you think? Hello, one less car. Atkin, Monday night show. It won't happen very often. But yeah, I thought I'd just sneak in a cheeky one. So yeah, Zoopla are saying that they are noticing less houses selling and more owners repricing their properties. Now, if that owner, or if you're a seller, put their property on the market for too much money originally, maybe last year, the year before, you may have got away with it. You may have had 10, 15 people fighting over your property, whereas now that isn't the case. So you have to list your property at a more realistic price. Listen to a decent estate agent. They're hard to come by, but go with one you trust. And then just see what happens. But yeah, pick your estate agent well. And if you're a buyer, if you are seeing more and more properties coming onto the market, you can use that as leverage to try and negotiate on the one you're looking to buy. And if you are looking to buy a property and want an estate agent in your corner, I do offer a house offering service where I can negotiate the offer on your behalf. If you're interested in that, I've got, I think, 5 or 6 people at the moment who are coming to the end of their house buying journey, that I secured the property for them and been with them every step of the way, and we're this close to getting exchange, and I hope they're all very happy, which I think they are. So let's say some hellos. DM, cheers mate, still a lot of research to do, but my partner is from the EU, which makes it a lot easier. Fantastic. Hello, one less car. Hope you're keeping well. I haven't seen you before, Americos. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, if you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic as well. By the way, guys, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Really helps the channel out. So next page, mini budget fallout stalls market activity in Q4. So yeah, every quarter. Let's change it so you can see it there. The spike in mortgage rates after the mini budget in late September has led to a sharp reduction in house market activity, more pronounced in new buyer demand than sales agreed. Demand has fallen to levels normally associated with Christmas as new buyers sit on the sidelines watching for the outlook of the mortgage rates and what the economic headwinds means for jobs and incomes. New buyer demand is almost half the level a year ago when the market conditions were stronger. Mortgage rates lower, and there were fewer cost of living pressures on household budgets. So I think that we all pretty much know that, don't we? That with what's going on in the world, that has changed a lot of people's desire as to whether they want to buy a house or buy a bigger house. I'll say we've certainly noticed it. Sales volumes decline less than buyer demand. New sales are still being agreed by those with mortgage offers and the motivation to move, e.g. would-be first-time buyers facing steep rent rises and older households less reliant on mortgage finance to fund a move. That's the key thing to remember. I've said it a few times in the streams. No matter what's going on in the market, there will always be people who want and are able to move. Okay, so even if, I mean, you look at the last couple of years when prices were going crazy, people were still buying. And you could say interest rates were low. They were, but house prices, people were moaning about house prices a year, 18 months ago about how high they are, and people just kept paying them. Now we've got this sort of stall in the market where the affordability, because of interest rates being high, is starting to affect a lot of those people, but not everyone. Not everyone. I'm seeing first-time buyers and second-time buyers with mortgages who are getting still pretty decent rates. We're talking 4%, which 10 years ago wasn't high at all. So that would have been the normal. Sales volumes are almost half in areas where the market conditions have been strongest in the last year. So if you've been living somewhere or looking to buy in somewhere where the market's been the strongest, then chances are you're going to see less houses being sold, more inventory coming onto the market, so you might be able to negotiate yourself a better deal. This is typically in the mid to upper price brands in southern England, excluding London, the East Midlands and Wales. The decline in sales volumes has been smaller in more affordable markets such as Scotland and the North East. Sales in London are also holding up better than the national average, but the capital's housing market has been far more subdued, lagging behind the rest of the UK. So we've got a few things happening here. Where are we? Hi Lee, hope you're well. Have any people you have helped try to get price decreases? We've had a couple. We had one which was downvalued by the surveyor, which we were able to renegotiate to an acceptable level. I've also had somebody try to renegotiate because of the survey, which we got some quotes, and the owner wasn't budging quite as well as we wanted to, but then we had other things happening, which means the whole chain had to chip in, which can happen if somebody needs a lot of money off of a property. Rather than one person paying that chunk, you can look to get a proportion of it off everybody in the chain, so it spreads out rather than everyone hitting it. But no, yes, I've had a couple of people renegotiate one down valuation, which there wasn't any recent sales transaction for the surveyor to compare this apartment to. It was a new apartment, or I think about a year old. So there wasn't any that had sold in the last few months that went on land registry, which was able to be a good comparison for that surveyor. So that got downvalued a little bit. But we managed to renegotiate and we got it all sorted. I'm hoping they're going to be exchanging the next couple of weeks, actually, with any luck. Man, would you make an offer on a property on Rightmove without the EPC rating? Why are estate agents not doing it and attached with the adverts? Do they have anything to say? No, so an agent has 28 days from marketing to have the energy performance certificate on there. You can also go on the government website, type the postcode in, find the address, and see if it's on the government website and it hasn't just been uploaded to the agent's details. So that sometimes happened, an admin error where that hasn't been done. Where are we? So I've just seen something I didn't like. Where are we? I mean, if there isn't an energy performance certificate, you won't be able to exchange contracts until there is one. So your solicitor won't let you exchange contracts until they have a valid energy performance certificate. Again, you could go online on the register, see if there's an old expired one, because energy performance certificates came in 14 years ago. So there might be an old one, which gives you an idea on what the property was like, and then you can make an educated guess whether it's more energy efficient now with any works that have been done over the last 15 years, if there was one done. But generally, an agent should have that done within the first 3 to 4 weeks of marketing. Hope that helps. Hope it helps, man. Delete it again, Scum. Sorry, I haven't seen what that is. If I've missed something, let me know. If there's anybody being bad, just report them, and that'll be got rid of. Ollie, how you doing? Evening, Nate. Pleased to say I'll be completing on the 9th of December. Your last year have been so useful. Just want to say a big thank you very much. Thank you very much. And good luck on the 9th of December. I'm hopefully got a few of my clients completing in the first week of December as well. So fingers crossed that does happen. I say we agreed a lot of these deals in October. So to get them through before Christmas is an absolute great thing. And I put it down to a lot of them have used the conveyancer that I recommend, which is Juno. And I know I spout on about them on most live streams, but they're a fantastic property lawyer, and I can get you a £250 discount on their fees as well. So if you are interested in that, then pop me an email, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk, and we can I can get you a decent quote. And they're fantastic. They keep you up to date twice a week, email updates twice a week, email updates in between if anything else happens, all in plain English. You can understand it. It's an absolute joke how good they are. And Alex, I was just making sure you're still here, mate. Just making sure you're still here. Right, let's get back to the report, and then I'll come back to your comments, guys. Let's get it up. Sales inventory recovering after a low base. So the average number of houses an estate agent has is 23. We've got a bit more than that. We're probably about 40 to 50. We did get down to, I think, 15 or 16 properties for sale, but we're quite a large agent in my town. So we normally have about 100 to 130 houses for sale. So, it's depending on your area and the agent. 23 for me does sound bloody low, but for some agents, that would be an average type of property or a register to work with. So weaker sales and more homes coming to the market means that stock of homes for sale continues to rebuild off a low base. The average estate agency office has 23 homes for sale. Again, that will vary from office to office. This is the highest since January 2021, but almost a fifth lower than pre-pandemic levels. This trend has been recorded across all of the UK. So agents getting more and more stuff on the market is something they're noticing across all agencies across the whole country. Rebuilding sales inventory, which boosts buyer choice, is part of the move to a more balanced market. Keyword, balanced market. However, it's important that these homes are priced in line with what buyers are prepared to pay, given the hit to buying power. So that's any estate agent watching this, that is a perfect line to take on your valuations. I'm sick of coming up against estate agents who are valuing 10, 15, 20% more than what the property is actually worth just to win the business, and then trying to get them to reduce over time, because that's what I'm seeing in my town. All right, the houses are going on for too much money, then they're reducing, and then they're selling. If they don't reduce, they're not selling. It's as black and white as that. If you're priced wrong, even in this market when there's not as much buyers about and the mortgage affordability is tougher, if you're priced right, you will still sell. And I'm sure you guys are sick of it as well, seeing all these agents overvaluing. But what it does look like to the outside world is when these properties do reduce, that house prices are crashing. Asking prices are coming down. I think that's the key thing. Asking prices are coming down. At the moment, I'm not seeing that the actual sale price is coming down as well. Owners advertising here last year as well. They're still advertising here, whereas last year was getting close to the asking price. Now it's come down, and owners are still looking to get this money. It's not going to happen. You've got to price it right. They analyse, where are we? We analyse the repricing process underway later in this report, which we'll get through to that. More homes for sale will reduce the scale of the upward pressure on house prices. Our expectation is that we won't get an oversupply of homes in 2023. We expect some element of scarcity, I can't say that word, to remain a feature in the market, limiting downside for pricing levels in 2023. So they do think because of the lack of properties for sale still, remember, on average, 23 per estate agent, will keep up that, or at least limits the amount of pressure there is on house prices to go down. Obviously, you've got the supply and demand argument, which is one factor in the housing market, not the whole thing. I know some experts do say that supply is everything, but it's not. You've got to have the demand and then the ability to buy with that demand, which I think that's the thing which is struggling at the moment. This is what I wanted to get to. A shakeout. Let me get it on your screen. Where are we? Can you see that? Where are we here? Right, a shakeout rather than a precursor to a housing crash. The fallout from the mini budget has clearly delivered a shock to sellers and buyers. It's not really sellers and buyers, it was the markets which then moved the goalposts in terms of how much it cost banks to borrow money, which then they passed on to us. New sales have been more resilient than some may have expected. That's true. After the initial mini budget, we had a few sales fall through because of mortgages being pulled and interest rates being revised. But after that initial 2-3 weeks, touch wood, we've been back to normal in terms of abortive sale rates. So it's interesting that Zoopla are experiencing the same as well. Committed buyers and sellers continue to bring homes to the market and agree on deals, although these are fewer in numbers and are harder to negotiate and hold together over the buying cycle. Very important, use the right solicitor. Fall through rates are higher. I mean, I've not experienced that, but not unmanageable for estate agents. Our data shows that 1 in 15 homes formerly sold is returning to the market after the original sale has fallen through. Now, I thought this figure would be higher. Now, when I first started an estate agency 20 odd years ago, it used to be 1 in 4 sales would go wrong. I've not sat down and done the actual figures for this year, but this year's been nowhere near that. Nowhere near 1 in 4. It's probably been like 1 in 10. But Zoopla are saying the average is 1 in 15, which when I see people on the stream and other people's live streams saying they're seeing properties come back onto the market because the sales fallen through, according to Zoopla, this seems to be a minority thing happening as opposed to something that's happening everywhere and all the time. So again, this is what Zoopla is saying, not me. We're just reading the report. All the leading supply and demand indicators we measure continue to point to a rapid slowdown from a very strong market conditions. We do not see any evidence of forced sales or the need for a large double-digit reset in UK house prices in 2023. So that's what Zoopla are saying. That is what Zoopla are saying. It's an interesting report because back in the new year, they said that they expected house prices to go up by 5% over the course of 2022, which I think is probably still on course to happen, unless we have a couple of months, November and December, of 1-2% decreases. Sorry, maybe 2 or 4% decreases. Then then we could be down to that sort of level. But this year, pretty flat. Next year is when we're going to see what actually happens with those agreed prices. For me personally, we'll have to wait and see. But we're going to be doing a live stream every week, so we will bring the data to you guys and keep you posted. One less car helping out Ollie. Ollie, I'm completing on the 9th too. 4.5 long months, but it's finally happening. Was so relieved when we exchanged last Friday at 4:30. It's a great feeling, isn't it? It is a great feeling. One less car. I found no matter how good your lawyer is, the process will only go as fast as the slowest in the chain. Our sellers were buying from someone who repeatedly couldn't get things together, causing delay. Yeah. I mean, fortunately for us, we've had quite a few no-chain sales agreed with my clients from this channel. So we've been very lucky. But having a good solicitor who keeps on top of things and an agent that's on top of the chain as well is a godsend, an absolute godsend. However, having a good lawyer does make things a lot less stressful, as you don't have to chase and know they are doing everything they can on your way. Yeah. I think what I think is key when buying a property is communication. If there isn't that communication between lawyer and client, then especially first-time buyers who may be a little bit sort of naive to how things work, sometimes go weeks and weeks and weeks without actually knowing what's going on, and they may be a little bit too scared to call up the solicitor or lawyer, conveyancer, and find out what's going on and just sort of sit there and wait. I'm not saying you need to hassle your solicitor, but there's no harm in once every 10 days just dropping an email to your sister or a phone call, or even to the estate agent you're buying through, just to ask them what's going on, how are things going, is there anything you can do to speed things up, is there anything they can do to help speed things up. Agents won't mind doing this. Well, most of them won't mind doing it. Most of them have a sales progressor, so they can pass that job on to the sales progressor to do. But yeah, we all want our money at the end of the day. You want to move, but as one less car says, you're only as strong as your weakest link, which unfortunately can slow everyone down. Nourishing Roots, how are you doing? Our house completed today. We're over the moon and can't wait to have our first takeaway when we move in tomorrow. Our solicitors were brilliant. Congratulations, Nourishing Roots. I hope you come back and help out some other first-time buyers as well. What's your first meal going to be? You know we talk about this every week on the channel. We're getting quite a few completions happening over the next few weeks. So tell us what your first meal is. I can't remember what one less car said they were having if they joined in on the old... what your first meal is going to be. I'll have to do a poll. And see what I think. 1 second. It's really hot in my dining room. I've got the heating on. I can't turn it off. Anybody tell me what the Portugal score is, please? My TV and phone's in there, so I need to know. Anybody got anything they want to share? Any questions or anything like that at all? Nando's or pizza? Cool, a Nando's. That's going to mean you've got cutlery then, doesn't it? You've actually had a chance to unpack cutlery. Yeah, I had fish and chips. That front room floor, perfect. But I do live in a seaside town, so it's quite. They're everywhere, absolutely everywhere. But pizza, yeah, can't beat a Domino's or a Pizza Hut. Papa John's, not bad as well. Thank you for the update, man. 0-0. Who's looking decent? I've got money on Uruguay. If they win, I win a few quid. So yeah, be good to know. Right, if you haven't already, guys, we've got 41 people watching. If some more of you could please like the stream. Even if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. It lets me know whether this stuff is good for you or not. Helps YouTube as well. So thumbs up or down. Prefer thumbs up. That would be great. Yeah, I just really wanted to talk about that. Alex saying no questions. You caught us off guard. Yeah, I mean, I'm normally a little bit more prepared, a bit more to talk about. But because this was very last minute, I just wanted to share the Zoopla report, share it with you guys, and then yeah, spend the rest of the evening with the wife. So if there is no more questions, I will call it a day here. But I will be back Wednesday. I'll be going. I think I'm going to go over the week's news in terms of what's been said in the papers, good and bad, because I'm not. No matter what anybody says, because I'm an estate agent, it doesn't matter what happens in the housing market. I sell houses, whether it's good or bad. So I've got no vested interest in this at all. So any good or bad news, I will present to you guys. You know I will. My partner just said that he had his bare hands to eat with, so that suits him. Caveman style, like it. Might give me an update on the Uruguay-Portugal and poor game. Are Uruguay looking decent now? Are any shots? Lee Martin, property developer based in Dunstable. With rising build costs and falling house prices, every site I'm finding the figures don't seem to be stacking. Do you think it's the right time to build? This is really for sort of first-time buyers, Lee, but I think the same sort of thing. If the figures stack, then great. But I think what we find at the moment, what we should be finding in the near future, is more and more potential deals coming onto the market as potentially more and more sellers need to sell. I mean, I've sold quite a few properties with sort of bits of land, etc., where there is development potential. I'm not sure how big you are in terms of that, where we do single plots or multiple plot developments. But what you might find is more and more people looking to sell off pieces of land to help pay for things. I say we've had a few. We've had, even sort of a block of garages which you can get a 3-bed detached house on. They're not even bothering to get planning permission on it to maximise their profit, which they would actually get. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea what's going on with build costs. I know they're going up. I don't know if there's any sign of them coming down either. But a lot of the builders all done there, are scaling back how much they're building over the next year. So Barratt Homes, I think it was, Taylor Wimpey, they're all sort of taking a step back. They're still going to build, but yeah, just not as much. Some congratulations for Nourishing Roots. Question: when we do move in, is that the day that organised electricity bills council? Yes. So from the day of completion, one of the first things you should do when you get the keys is first of all make sure the property is clear and okay, as you would expect to find it. Make sure any goods which were agreed were going to be left are actually there, and then get your meter readings. If you're in rented at the moment, Nourishing Roots, or pay the utility bills, then you should inform your utility company that you're moving, give them the dates that you're moving, and then on the day give them meter readings, gas, electric, or just electric, depending what you have. But no, that's a very big thing to do. Get those meter readings, and then call the provider if you are moving for the first time. Call the provider you're going to be using, and pass on those details to them. And they'll set you up an account. But yeah, it's quite expensive at the moment. I'm not sure if you've paid utility bills before, but if you haven't, those of you who are watching who haven't, it's quite a shock. It's quite a shock. And one let's go husband, it has to be pizza. I'd agree. Pizza over Nando's. I don't get what the hype is about Nando's. On that note, guys, I'm going to go and watch the rest of the Portugal-Uruguay game. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you Wednesday. Any questions in the meantime, you can email me, lee@leeeverettproperty.co.uk. If you want to use my recommended conveyancer, email me as well. And if you are a buyer looking to buy in the near future and you want to use my offering service, please feel free to email me. We can have a chat and we can try and get you the best deal we can on a house that you want to buy. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy it. Take care. See you later.